Okay, hello everyone. Yeah, we meet again on the CDA materials. Now we are going to discuss about CDA approach, or we can call it models. Yeah, that is brought by Ruth Wodak. Previously, after we learn about several expert, yeah, John Van Dyke, then we have Sarah Mills, then we have other expert, yeah, for Norman Fairclough and extra. We are going to discuss about uh, Ruth Woodak's approach, yeah, or it is famous with her, yeah, approach in the specific CDA or discourse analysis study, ya, DES. It's called by discourse historical approach, or DHA. Yeah, so many acronyms for it, yeah. But don't worry, yeah. We'll learn step by step, yeah, for what is about CDA once again briefly, and what is root product discourse historical approach, and what is the methodological framework, then the application, and maybe we will keep this challenge and criticism. This is for critical thinking later on, and then the further direction and research. Yeah, the first is about the introduction of CDA. Yeah, if you remember about what is CDA, yeah, briefly, yeah. So in understanding Wodak's approach, we need to remember about basic understanding of critical discourse analysis. Yeah, what is CDA is for, yeah, why we need to study about CDA. Because DHA, or the discourse historical approach, belongs, yeah, to CDA. If we study about CDA, we will see kinds of power and critique and also ideology relation, yeah. So you will, what is that? In other word, we cannot spare it with the society. Yeah. Okay. Uh, if we see in the late of 1980s, yeah, uh, the CDA is well established. Then, if we see about CDA, we cannot take it apart instead of power relation, yeah. Of course, we'll talk about this text and discourse, yeah, in many different ways in the social sciences, yeah. For the critics actually that's developed, yeah, among some CTA expert, yeah, in the West, in the various European languages, yeah, the term critical, yeah, it mean equivalent with complex history, yeah. Uh, challenge what they regard as the undesirable social and political practices, because if VCCDA has a relation with power and also society, yeah, of course we cannot take it apart with this its critique related with the political and society, yeah. uh, from the Greek philosophy, for example, yeah. When we talk about European, yeah, we cannot take apart with Greek too, yeah. Uh, the meanings of this etymology of critics criticize is to decide, yeah, to make distinction. So that's why we decide that this is wrong, this is right, to make decision because of some developing of the meaning, yeah. So it can be critics, yeah. I like, in other words, like in the Chinese tradition and something like that, they have also definition of critics, yeah, are critical, being critical, yeah. So if we take text and discourse, we need to being critical, yeah, being self-reflective and self-critical. Nah, that's the short review and brief discussions about the CDA itself. Yeah. So it helps our understanding in the social phenomena, in depth and reveals the relationship between language and power. Nah, nggak bisa dipisahkan itu language and power. Ya. Nah, because of we use Wodak into historical approach, of course, we need to see CDA from historical context, historical context of CDA. So we need the origin and evolution of CDA, started from DA to CDA, then uh, the philosophy, the thought of the critical discourse is from Michael Foucault social theory. Yeah, if you see some, we can have Van Dyck, then we can have Van Meyer, and so on. Yeah, they comes to some philosopher thought. Yeah, when we call it like Anthony Gramsci. Yeah, we related with the hegemony itself. Wait. Uh, if you see the philosopher at that time, like Michael Foucault. Michael Foucault, wait for a minute. Have some positive impact, like in social science, Uh, he is from France, but his thought is not just for uh, French studies or about the language in France or linguistics in France, but he uh, grows his concept, about power, and then why the one of the famous expert in the early of 20s, in 90s, sorry, 19th is Michael Foucault, then he has his thought about genealogy of power, that the key principle of Foucault, uh, that theory, so there is no truth that can be revealed as the final truth, and there is no truth that can be treated as the universal truth. So he stands his point about what we can call it truth relativity. Critical discourse analysis takes the Michael Foucault principle that there is no general truth about it. So we need to be curious. We need to seek the power behind of it, why and how and something like that. Yeah. Okay. Then after Michael Foucault, Antonio Gramsci, and also Mikhail Bakhtin about language theory, and it's also influenced in the CDA. Okay. Then the next, we got methodologies, approach in CDA, but furthermore, we will focus on root product discourse historical approach. So what makes it different with others? So that from the definition itself, we can have the objective of the DHA, we usually call discourse historical approach, for this is interdisciplinary approach to discourse study. and it focuses on the relationship between language and socio-historical context. Yeah, if we talk about previously Sarah Mills, it's famous about her feminisms. Yeah, if we talk about Ruth Wodak, yeah, will have historical approach. Nah, if we see about historical and historical, ya, kok tentang masa lalu, tidak, it's not always about the past, ya. It it sees, it monitors the current phenomena by using the historical factors, ya. So if we say DHA, ya, analyze the history itself. If we talk about Ruth Wodak DHA, ya, you know about Semitic tribes, ya, and Semitic stereotypes, ya. You can browse. Semitics is like, in other words, of Jews or Yahudi, something like that. Then it started from that, because in the Nazi of World War II, and actually so far beyond of that year, that period, yeah, there was massive anti-Semitic movement, yeah, that press, that was that uh, we can call it oppressed, yeah, the Semitic tribes or Semitic people. Then the history in the 1980s, yeah, the Australian presidential campaign of the former UN secretary, yeah, the name is Kurt Waldheim. Then Ruth Wodak make an analysis about that one, yeah, that from his background, then uh, whether is orientation toward this application of DHA to post-war anti-Semitisms, yeah, then further elaborated in number of studies, yeah, and construction of national and international identity, yeah, in Australia, started from in Austria, sorry, not Australia, Austria, then developed, yeah, to Europe, then European identities, yeah, started from DHA, then uh, or we can call it, if we remember about the past, we can call it like a memory, yeah, politics of memory, something like we can say about that. Because if, although the form of that one is racist, right? If we oppress the some tribes, yeah, like the example is Semitic tribes, it's racist. Then this called by a form of racist and prejudice discourse, yeah, that may be similar, but it contains of very according of the stigmatized groups, and then according to the settings, yeah, in which in certain place certain linguistics and linguistic realization, yeah, become possible. That's why uh, this critical analysis of right wings, ya, kalau sayap kanan gitu ya, in Australia and beyond of that power. And this is interdisciplinary, ya, once again. Okay, we'll wait for a minute. That's for the foundation. Nah, then the core concept of DHA, yeah, discourse historical approach, is that we have three, yeah, discursive strategies, contextualization, and triangulations method. Yeah, if you see discursive strategies, what does it mean? Yeah, we have so many selection, yeah, about discursive strategies, argumentation, ya, because we need to itu kan reject the general truth, universal truth, there is not always, but there is always a reason behind of it, yeah. There is specific things, specific reasons. That's why it create an argumentation strategies and discourse constructions. Yeah, and the rhetorical and persuasive techniques in discourse. This is the core concept, yeah, in this discursive strategy. And some of them use metaphor and narrative in sapping, sapping meaning, yeah. Okay, that for the argumentation, if we see the objective of this argument, like to debate, yeah, there is a justification, and we can call it questionings of claims, yeah, of truth and normative rightness. Yeah, once again, normative. For example, for the device that we can use for this discursive strategies in argumentation, we have topoi or formal or more content related. Then we have fallacy, yeah, that you can get to another intensification, mitigation, yeah, when we modifying the illocutionary force and those epistemic or deontic status of utterances, yeah, we can have diminutive or argumentative, yeah, verb of saying, feeling, thinking, something like that, yeah. We use indirect speech, yeah, maybe we use questions instead of assertion. Yeah, we use hyperbole, litotes, something like that. Then we have animating prosody, tadi ya, metaphor, allusion, evocation, and other so many devices that we can use for the strategy in discourse, yeah, discursive strategies, yeah, for the referential or nomination, yeah, from predication. So those discursive strategies, yeah, can be uh, beneficial, yeah, for us in analyzing critical discourse analysis using root word duck models, yeah. Okay, then if there are several strategies that deserves this special attention, yeah, uh, if we study about power, meaning, you need to remember about hermeneutics, yeah, hermeneutics in philosophy. Heuristically, yeah, we have five questions, yeah, in this us and them, karena and every point of view is different, normative, right? For me, that is a corruption, for example. Karena saya tidak berkuasa, because I do not have power. For them, this is not corruption, but this is kind of self reward. Nah, karena bagi-bagi uang itu self reward because they already did something to the country. Nah, itulah posisi the point of view. So we have some two point of view, us and them. Nah, itu dia. We can create some questions, yeah, if we remember about this hermeneutics theory, yeah. How are persons, object, phenomena, event, processes, yeah, action named, refer to linguistic, ya, diwakili secara ilmu-ilmu bahasa itu oleh apa? What characteristics, ya, qualities, ya, karena itu is about inner, ya, feature are attributed, ya, to social actors, object, phenomena, events, or maybe that process, ya. Nah, ya, itu diatributkan oleh apa? Kemudian tentang argumennya, what arguments, ya, are employed, ya, in the discourse questions. Nah, itu. So we can have those questions, ya. Uh, in what is that? Approaching the analysis of discourse related with discourse historical approach, yeah, we can have this uh, contextualization and triangulations method. Yeah, like in other scientific things, yeah, so we can check the truth of our data, our analysis, like the results too, yeah. So we use triangulation method. The use of triangulation method to validate data and findings, yeah. So in DHA there, the combination of qualitative and quantitative data in DHA, yeah, benefits of triangulation in increasing the reliability of analysis, yeah. Nah, some applications ya, tadi sudah ngomong panjang lebar kiri kanan, ini ada beberapa contoh ya. Application of DHA itu ya tentu saja yang pertama ya. The first one that we cannot take apart like the previous explanations ya. Analyzing political discourse. Nah, analyzing political discourse. Misalnya analysis of rhetoric and political strategies in speeches, speechnya siapa gitu, and the official documents ya, examples ya of significant political discourse analysis, media representation studies bisa, or case studies ya, utilizes DHA itu bisa, can be ya. Then the methodological framework, it is like the general scientific process ya, identifying the research problem, collecting and analyzing data, interpretation and contextualization. Nah, yang paling penting ini ya, using qualitative data source, using quantitative data integration, and triangulation process. Nah, toolsnya, the tools ya, analytical tools in DHA itu ada policy text analysis. Kita cari itu policy karena historical approach ya need some principle especially related with the power in politics ya. Analyze policy text to identify intent, to examine the implications of those policy ya for society, compares policy with the international standard, it's different, it oppress the low society or not. So, narrative constructions, yeah, analysis, identify this one. Then last is the tool is argumentations analysis. Nah, we can use once again in for political discourse analysis, yeah, examinations of political speeches, yeah, language styles, rhetoric identification, yeah, discourse analysis of policy documents, yeah, media coverage of political events, yeah. We can use those, yeah, for the fields, yeah, can be for political, media and communication studies. Yeah, we can also use it for sociolinguistic and cultural studies. Nah, if we see from the many aspects yeah of CDA in this context yeah, I will give you some journals or maybe an article yeah, just an article yeah from Ruth Wodak that analysis critical discourse analysis discourse historical approach yeah in 19 or in the new one in 2015 yeah, that discuss about this in I don't know in a part of book if I'm not mistaken yeah, because Wodak uh, is a productive one, write several articles and books yeah. She is from Lancaster University, yeah, United Kingdom. Uh, in this critical discourse study and the discourse historical approach, yeah, takes much part, yeah, in our curiosity in this course. Yeah, the DHA itself attempt to integrate, yeah, a large quantity available knowledge of the historical sources and the background of the social and political fields, yeah, in which discursive events are embedded. Now, that's the key. As our closing, yeah, that further it analyzes the historical dimension, yeah, of discursive action. Pasti ada discursivenya, historical part. By what? By exploring ways, yeah, in which particular genre of discourse subjects to diachronic change. Do you remember about synchronic and diachronic? Yeah, diachronic is based on the time. Yeah, like uh, historical comparative, uh, linguistic historical comparative. Yeah, in introduction to linguistic, I share about that. That's about diachronic thing. We talk about something that is uh, synchronic. Yeah, means it doesn't really relate with the time changes, like grammar, like when we analyze about syntax, something like that. Yeah. Okay, if you have a questions later on, we can discuss in the Zooms meetings or maybe in a classroom or face-to-face meeting. Yeah, I think that's for the CTA's approach related with discourse historical approach from Woodward Duck. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a nice learning. Happy study. Bye.